Hello, and welcome to the first of hopefully many builds that I will do on a weekly basis. Today I will be doing a sentry plus prism with adepts, where the main purpose is to shade through this main ramp with the adepts, and at the same time using the prism with sentries inside of it, force field this ramp, and then choose which side of the force field you want to be with the adepts. So you shade in, and if the opponent has their army here, you cancel the shade, you still keep the force field. So the build opens up as usual with the gateway into gas and then an expand. Great, this gives me more time to articulate. And then straight into the attacks. So no complicated Phoenix and Oracle micro. I think it's too much to control. You can do it with that if you would like, but I will try to keep it as simple as possible given this goal. So basically as soon as possible get the Twilight to upgrade glaives with the so that the adepts are stronger. Now I will put 2 in gas in the opening phase. This is not very important. You can just put three probes in the gas if you feel like it. And on 20 supply before the second pylon, start the Twilight, the Cybernetics core. And on 21 supply, or on 22, you get the pylon, the second pylon, in the main base. What you're scouting for and what you're hoping to scout for is the hatch first, which we saw here, with the gas, and no larva done when the pool is finished, which means that there is no threat of a circling all-in early on. Starting Warp Gate and the Adept, and as soon as I get 100 gas, I will start the Twilight. Chrono Boost probes a bit more. And at this point, I'm just gonna keep three probes in the gases and build a second adept that will sit in this wall. The first adept can do some scouting. The first thing we're looking for here is just if he's making drones or if he's making mass circling. So we saw some drones being made. Start the glaives, by the way, as soon as the Twilight is done. Keep building adepts. And in the main, we're looking for lair, if there is a Nidus all-in, for example. Once again, we have 100 gas, so good time to start the robotics facility. And here it gets a bit simpler. We want 2 gateways, preferably so that they finish in time for Warp Gate. These are a bit late. And we're reaching 16 probes here, which is kind of what we want. And while we wait for the other gates to finish, we're gonna build up a mineral bank. So I'm just gonna spend it by building more gateways. And the robot just finished, so starting the prism. Chrono boost if one is available. Glaves is done very early. And here we just warp in adepts. The next thing we want to do is warp these gateways into warp gates. As soon as the prism is done, we can shade adepts across the map. We don't really want to attack yet, but this will scare the opponent a bit, so this is optional. It's nice to warp in the sentries here, so that he doesn't know where they are. He has no idea that I'm attacking with sentries. Just keep making adepts, as many as possible. And then when you feel like you're ready to attack, make a few extra pylons, so you don't have to do any macro in the fight. And after these ones are ready, I will go for it. Alright, so Prism moving towards the ramp, Adepts moving as close as possible so that they can shade all the way to the main. Now, this was not as successful as I wanted, which means you can just try it again. And this time, I think he puts too much in the main, so we're gonna force fill the ramp here. Oops, I wanted to cancel this shade. Again, I messed up, but it's not a problem because I can just shade down again. And keep force filling this ramp. Remaking the prism. And he has lost a lot of stuff. Now it's time to think about the follow-up. And I will just do let's take an expansion, build some immortals. But the build is basically done at this stage, and you can do whatever you want. Probably gonna trap these units, since you can't run away from adept shades. And the problem for him is that he lost a lot of drones. And he was also forced to build a lot of roaches. So I think that I am quite far ahead in this game. Still no drones here. Just a single drone here. So as long as I don't lose here, I should be good. That might be easier said than done though. If the game extends this long, 840, we see that the minerals start running out in the main base, so you might want to transfer some here, or to the third if it's finished. So just gonna recap, see if there's something to talk about in the replay. Otherwise, much more detailed and well explained notes will be written in the guide. So we can look at a bit what the opponent was doing. Going for roaches. Now this is, I think, the 4th time I do this against Ghosty. So he knew what was coming, even though the sentries are completely unscouted. That's quite important. Or that is, I mean, it's not necessary, but it's a really nice trick. So he put his queens here, blindly expecting the push, and also building spines here. But that can be good against any adept all-in. Right. One thing I wanted to show in video form as well is it can be very tricky to force fill this ramp. You can see I'm shifting between 2 different control groups, and then you also have to select the sentries. You have to drop the force field at quite accurately. If you miss it, I put 2 sentries in this build for this reason. If you miss it, you can drop a second one, and then you can also warp in sentries if you think there's a lot of value in that. Otherwise, I wanted to just show the simplest way of controlling this. So we need to move close enough that all of the adepts can shade all the way through. So this is a good distance. This is something you will learn by trying to see how far the adept shades actually reach. So that was a good one. So we're gonna sit here and shade through. And now I'm gonna drop the sentries, and then I'm just gonna prepare to box like this, and I'm gonna release and force field. So I'm gonna do that again. Drop here. We know they're gonna drop down here, which means that we can box them, and we want the cursor, we want to box in a direction so that the cursor ends up where we want to force field. We don't want to box like this, because then we have to move the cursor very accurately, and then very accurately press over here. So the easiest thing to do is to drop, box, be prepared here. As soon as the first sentry is dropped, we release, and then force field. And I just missed. So just do that. As soon as the prism starts slowing down, we see it's almost ready, and then we can force field. First sentry was out of energy. Like so. Of course, if you're a bit faster, you have more flexibility, but I think this is the easiest version. Right, so that's all I had for this video, and I hope that you enjoy trying the build out.